Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this video, and welcome to Past in Pixels Academy. So अब हम पहुंच गए अपने biology के chapter number 3, that is reproduction. Okay, so let's get started without wasting any time. So the first question says, reproduction is essential for living organism because it ensures the continuity of the species. Okay, wait a while. Okay, so it ensures the continuity of the species. So the types of reproduction in which only one parent is involved, it is asexual reproduction. Generally what happens is कि sexual reproduction में जो gamete formation है वो male और female में अलग अलग होता है. Male gamete and female gamete fuses together and the process is called fertilization. Then the zygote is formed. Okay. But in asexual reproduction, only one parent is required and karyokinesis and cytokinesis takes place and two new individuals are formed. Okay. Then, which of the following is an example of asexual reproduction? Fertilization, budding, pollination, या gamete formation. So, budding is an example of asexual reproduction. Binary fission is commonly seen in amoeba. मल्टीपल फिजन अकर्स इन प्लाज्मोडियम. प्लाज्मोडियम आपके बॉडी के अंदर मलेरिया और डेंगू कॉज करने के लिए बहुत ही मशहूर है. तो ये जो मलेरिया है ये आपका प्लाज्मोडियम फैल्सीपेरम और प्लाज्मोडियम मलेरिया से होता है. ये इनके जो है साइंटिफिक नेम्स हैं. नाउ दिस प्लाज्मोडियम शोज मल्टीपल फिजन एंड मल्टीपल फिजन इज बेसिकली यू कैन से लाइक इन अमीबा, one amoeba was getting divided into two daughter amoebas, right? Like this. But here in plasmodium, one plasmodium divides into four new plasmodiums. So this is your multiple fission. Okay, let's go ahead. Budding is a mode of reproduction. In budding किसमें का mode of reproduction है? तो ईस्ट में बडिंग होती है, बड्स फॉर्मेशन होती है जिससे नया ईस्ट बनेगा. तो फ्रैगमेंटेशन इज सीन इनमें से फ्रैगमेंटेशन किसमें होता है? तो स्पाइरोगाइरा में आपको फ्रैगमेंटेशन देखने को मिलेगा. Regeneration is the ability of an organism to repair the damaged body parts. अब इसका एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन एग्जांपल मैं आपको देता हूँ. छिपकली आप लोगों ने देखी होगी. सो लिजर्ड में एक टेंडेंसी होती है कि वो अपनी टेल को जो है लीव कर दे, है ना, टेल छोड़ दे और बाद में वो टेल रीजनरेट हो जाती है जब कोई उसको वहां से पकड़ता है. बेसिकली ये उसका एक डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म है. सो दिस इज रिपेयर damaged body parts. Which organism shows regeneration? तो planaria shows regeneration. Vegetative reproduction is a type of asexual reproduction. Which part of the potato helps in vegetative reproduction? तो उसका stem. Potato एक stem है. Okay. Reproduction through roots occur in. इसमें से root कौन है? तो sweet potato आपकी एक root है. ठीक है. Artificial vegetative propagation includes fragmentation, budding, binary fission तो नहीं होगा. लेयरिंग हम यूज करते हैं. जब इस चैप्टर को डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे तो आपको एक एक चीज में आपको प्यार से बताऊंगा. ठीक है. Which method is commonly used in mango plants? मैंगो प्लांट्स में हम ग्राफ्टिंग यूज करते हैं नई स्पीसीज बनाने के लिए. Sexual reproduction involves two parents. The fusion of male and female gamete is called fertilization. Basically आपके इसमें चैप्टर का कोना कोना हम जो है एक एक चीज इंक्लूड कर देंगे and I can assure you that you will feel very confident after solving all the MCQs by your own. And just you need to do is all that read the chapter thoroughly once. Okay. The male reproductive part of a flower is, देखिए बेटा, जो मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट होता है फ्लावर में उसको हम नॉर्मल भाषा में एंड्रोशियम बोलते हैं. फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट को गाइनोशियम बोलते हैं. एंड्रोशियम इज योर स्टेमन एंड गाइनोशियम इज योर पिस्टल. एंड स्टेमन कंसिस्ट ऑफ एंथर एंड फिलामेंट and pistil consists of stigma, style, ovary. Okay, so we are being asked about male reproductive part. So male reproductive part is stamen. Female reproductive part of a flower is pistil. Transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma is called as pollination. बच्चों वाली definition है. Self pollination occurs in. Self pollination किसमें होगा? Self pollination occur in different flower, same flower, different plants या different species. देखो different तो कुछ नहीं होता. Self में हमेशा same flower रहते हैं. Okay. Fertilization in flowering plants takes place in. फर्टिलाइजेशन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स में किसमें होता है? तो वो ओवरी में होगा. किसमें होगा? देखो ये आपका स्टिग्मा होता है, यहाँ स्टाइल जाती है और नीचे ओवरी होती है. इसी ओवरी में फर्टिलाइजेशन होती है जब पोलन ट्यूब एक पोलन ग्रेन से निकल करके नीचे की तरफ चैलाजिल एंड में आकर के इसमें फर्टिलाइजेशन स्टार्ट करती है. ओके. आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन ओव्यूल डेवलप्स इनटू ओवरी. ठीक है. सॉरी वेट अ व्हाइल. द क्वेश्चन सेज after fertilization ovule develops into. So ovule develops into seed. Okay, now your ovary develops into fruit, because fruit is what? Your ripened ovary. Okay, so take care of that thing. Now ovary after fertilization develops into fruit. The process of development of seed into a plant is called as germination. The male gamete in humans is sperm. The female gamete in human is ovum. Which organ produces sperm in males? Testes produces sperms in males. The site of fertilization in human is fallopian tube. देखिए ये एक फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम का स्कीमेटिक डायग्राम अगर मैं बनाता हूं तो ये आपकी जो रीजन है यहाँ पर जो फिम्ब्रिय रीजन होता है यहाँ पे इस तरीके से जो एग्स को कैच करता है आफ्टर द फॉर्मेशन. ओके, वेट अ व्हाइल. सो दिस फैलोपियन ट्यूब स्ट्रक्चर catches the eggs which are produced in ovary like this. Okay, so it's a schematic diagram, don't judge me by this diagram. So eggs are released and catched by fimbria, finger-like projections, and it is then descended into the fallopian tube. Now this fallopian tube here, this is the place where fertilization takes place, so we call it fallopian tube. Now which hormone is responsible for the sperm production? So for sperm production, our testosterone is responsible. The menstrual cycle in human occurs approximately after every 21 days. Which organ nourishes the developing embryo? Which organ nourishes the developing embryo? So answer will be placenta. The structure that connects embryo to the mother is your umbilical cord. The period of pregnancy in human is about 9 months. Okay, which of the following is a temporary method of birth control? So temporary method is your condoms. Which contraceptive method prevents fertilization? So copper T prevents fertilization, but the best answer will be your tubectomy, because fertilization takes place in fallopian tube and cutting of the fallopian tube takes place in tubectomy. So tubectomy will be the answer. Which disease is transmitted through sexual contact? So AIDS, AIDS is transmitted through sexual contacts and it stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. AIDS is caused by a virus known as HIV virus or human immunovirus, right? HIV virus, human immunovirus. The reproductive process leads to variation. Which reproductive process leads to variation? Asexual reproduction, binary fission, sexual reproduction, vegetative reproduction. So sexual reproduction leads to variation because here two different gametes meets together, because two different DNAs are present in both the gametes, right? When they fuses, they make a new variated human organism or any living organism. Variation is important because it helps in adaptation. It helps in adaptation. Which part of the following develops into the seed? ओवरी, ओव्यूल, स्टिग्मा, स्टाइल. सीड बेटा ओव्यूल बनाता है, ठीक है, ओव्यूल डेवलप्स इनटू सीड. सीड कोड बेसिकली. द फ्यूजन ऑफ द न्यूक्लियाई ड्यूरिंग फर्टिलाइजेशन फॉर्म जाइगोट. Which structure carries sperm? So your vas deferens carries sperms, and this vas deferens is cut and tied together to perform the surgery of vasectomy, which prevents in the ejaculation of the sperms in males. Which hormone regulates menstrual cycle? Estrogen and progesterone regulates your menstrual cycle in females. Which is not a method of asexual reproduction? So not a method of asexual reproduction. Fertilization is not a method of asexual reproduction. Which plant produces through leaves? Bryophyllum produces through leaves. The immature stage of human after fertilization is called, immature stage after fertilization of human is called as embryo. Which of the following is a permanent method of birth control? So vasectomy is permanent method for birth control. Which part of sperm helps in movement? The tail of the sperm helps in movement. And if I draw a schematic diagram of a sperm cell, so you can see the tail elongates and we have an acrosome here. Right here, this region is called the neck region. This specifically is the tail, which whips and helps in the movement of this particular sperm cell. Which process ensures mixing of genetic material? Which process ensures mixing of genetic material? So sexual reproduction ensures the mixing of genetic material. Which reproductive health practice prevents STDs? So vaccination, balanced diet, exercise are the most common things, but the best is the use of condoms. Okay, so here we have completed the MCQs. Thank you very much for watching the video. And if you want a very clean PDF of this particular segment, you can click the link in the description and download our courses. Thank you so much and have a nice day ahead.